I thought it was a very, very fun experience. I've even texted him since saying that, I enjoyed making it, and the backlash I've received from it, I also enjoy that as well, because I've got, I can just rage bait people in my DMs, which I enjoy doing anyway.
I mean, look, as I was saying to you when we tried to start this, what you want to do with your life is entirely down to you. It's no impact on me whatsoever. The only interest I would have, a bit like Louis Theroux, is the influence that you wield over young men. And when I was watching the Netflix show, I was just curious what you want that influence to be. Right? Because your mother's in the show, and we'll come to quite an amusing clip where she talks about me, actually. She doesn't want you to do this interview, I think, was the bottom line. So you're defying your mother again, and we'll come to that. But your mother's, I was watching her, and I was watching you interact with them. I actually knew your father a bit back in the 90s. Victor Abugu, who was an England rugby player. Met him a few times.
Your friends?
Liked him, and we can come to that as well. And I'm just curious how somebody whose mum is like that, whose dad was like he was when I knew him, how somebody ends up thinking that the key to life, that the joy of life, the satisfaction of life, comes from rage baiting people in their DMs, rather than something a little bit more. I hesitate to use words where your fan base will go, "Oh, shut up, granddad, you don't get it." But is there not more to life to be achieved than rage baiting morons in their DMs?
Okay, I'm glad you called them morons, because that is the idiots that I've attracted from the mainstream coverage with the documentary. But there's a lot more to life. For me, the main thing in life is making money, being healthy, and enjoying that money with my family and having great experiences. The experiences that I have now, since I've come back for Mother's Day, whatever, with my mum, in the last, 5-6 years since I've been on social media, have been great. And they're the things that I'll be looking back on when I'm 60, 70 years old. The nice dinners, the nice weather, just the nice times that I've shared. So I don't think the beauty of life is rage baiting retards in my comments. But when I'm sat there and
what do you actually want your younger male followers to end up being like? It's a genuine question. Because in the Netflix show, what I saw was a guy who says, look, on the one hand, if I had a daughter who did OnlyFans, I'd disown her. And yet you are directly involved in promoting a load of women who are on OnlyFans, right?
You're a smart man, right? You wouldn't be in this position if you weren't a smart man. You can answer that question yourself. You know exactly why I'm promoting girls. I'm not even actively promoting any right now, but you know exactly why I'm doing it. You don't need to ask me that question. There you go. So why are you asking a question you already know?
No, I'm not.
It's a very, very easy answer.
You're missing my point, Harrison. I'm not disputing that you are making money, or you're perfectly entitled to. I'm just curious why you would want to send a message to young men you're trying to be influential over, to the extent where you want them to part with money to be like you. And on the one hand, your message is OnlyFans is awful, these girls that do it are awful. But on the other hand, you're making money promoting them. It's hypocritical.
Look, I think OnlyFans girls can do what they want, I'm not bothered. It's the same way I think people can be gay if they want. I'm not bothered. When it comes into my family, where I have control over the situation, that's where I'll dictate what happens. So it's a very valid point that I don't want my daughter to be on OnlyFans. I don't want my daughter to be in the red light district in Amsterdam. But if I went to Amsterdam and I was walking down and I saw a Colombian 9 out of 10, would I go in and visit? Well, depends how many drinks I'd had that night. But that doesn't mean I necessarily agree with it, or would like that girl to be my daughter, or would raise my daughter like that. Makes perfect sense.
And if you had a son who turned out to be gay, you would disown him, you said?
No, my actual life ambition, right, genuinely since young, is to grow up, make money, retire my mum, meet a nice girl from a good family, then have a gay child who fucks other guys. That's what I want. So I genuinely want that. I also want him to go out on the weekend and put makeup on and, dance around in the gay strips.
Listen,
no, I want that.
I can hear your fan base cheering you on. I know what you're doing. It's the double down, treble down. In fact, I saw some of your post on social media before you did this interview, I'm going to own everything. I'm going to double down. I'm going to play that game. Fuentes did that a bit with me. And you know what I think?
Do you know what, bro? There's not a game.
By the way, I'm not your bro, Harrison. Call me Piers. I'll call you.
What you don't want to be my bro?
I don't really want to be your bro, mainly because I have two bros of my own. One of whom was an army colonel, and one of whom is an excellent man as well. However, let me just ask you what you said in the documentary. You clearly actually would, by your own admission, disown a son who said they were gay. And yet your mother, you said, hates people that are racist, sexist, homophobic, and so on. Why be so brazenly homophobic if your own mother, who you clearly love and respect and care about, if she's so against that, why would you be so happy to be brazenly homophobic?
I wouldn't say I'm homophobic.
You would disown a child for being gay. That's about as homophobic as it gets.
That's your opinion, and in my opinion, that's not homophobic.
It's a fact of what homophobia is.
Okay.
What do you think homophobia is?
I think homophobia would be severely discriminating against gays. And I think that, maybe going around and bullying them or whatever could be considered homophobic.
You don't think
I don't really care what the definition is.
Bullying them because of their sexuality?
I'm not bullying them. I'm not bullying my child.
By disowning them?
It's not bullying.
What is it?
Definitely not bullying.
What would you call it? If you disown your own child for being gay, something they couldn't possibly
I'd call it good parenting. That's what I'd call it. I'd call it good parenting.
Really?
We clearly have different beliefs. I don't care what your belief is. If you grow up,
no, we don't actually. We both come from the same belief, which is we were brought up by mothers who did not share this view. So actually, we're very similar. It's just you've taken a weird turn where your mother, who hates homophobia, has got a son who actually thinks it's perfectly okay to say you would disown your own child, your own son, if they said they were gay. And
would you be happy if you raised your son and your son came out gay? Would you be happy, Piers? Would you be happy, Piers, if you had one child, one son?
I wouldn't care less.
You wouldn't care?
No.
Okay, then that's your beliefs. Me and you have totally different beliefs.
No, but the only
I know that you're trying to double down on this point.
Yeah, but Harrison, why do you think your belief does not constitute homophobia?
Piers, we can all have a push and a shove. You might not agree with some of my points. I don't agree with some things that you do and the way that you act.
That's fine.
And I don't need to go into them. But if you want me to, and you want this to turn into something that it doesn't need to be, then we can all have a push and a shove.
I'm genuinely interested in how you felt this Netflix show went and the things that Louis Theroux had you saying on camera. I'm genuinely curious what you think about the way people have responded to them. Honestly, that's all I care about. I'm not here to trap you. I'm not here to put words in your mouth. I'm not here to do any of that kind of thing. I'm very aware that your fan base, whatever happens between you and I, it doesn't matter. You will have owned me, killed me, crushed me, destroyed me. Let's just accept that's a given. Okay? That is how these interviews always go, whether it's Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, whoever.
Do you know what I don't like, Piers? Do you know what I don't like?
Gaines in a minute. It'll be the same thing. So I assume. Let me just tell your followers. Harrison HS Tiki Doki has owned me, beaten me, defeated me.
Okay, listen. I respect guys that have their own opinions, right? But I don't really respect you trying to come on and say, oh, I'm homophobic and try and really push that point when I wouldn't say I'm homophobic at all.
I understand that, but I'm curious why you don't think disowning a child for being gay is homophobic.
What I do with my children is up to me. What I do with my children is up to me.
Of course. Okay? Of course.
I don't agree with you going to Epstein's Island and having freak-offs with Ghislaine Maxwell and the rest of them. But I don't need to bring it up because this is about misogyny and everything like this.
Harrison,
Harrison. I don't agree with that, sir.
Just to be clear.
Freak-offs on the island.
Yes, nor do I. And as is
a stated fact. Are you sure?
Do you want to keep doing this? You'll make yourself look very stupid.
Are you sure, Piers?
That I've never been to Jeffrey Epstein's island. I'm 100% positive. I never met the man, never went to his island. I met Ghislaine Maxwell for 5 minutes at a book launch. If you've got any supplementary
mentioned a lot of times.
no
mentioned
problem.
a lot of times in there, sir.
I have no problem. You're not, I don't think, if I say this very respectfully, I don't think you're very well informed about things like that, or you wouldn't go there because it's.
Why are you in the files?
Why don't you check the 27 references to me in the files?
Why are you in the files, sir? Very close to these types of people.
Go and check. And all your followers, you can. The great thing about the Epstein files, you can put somebody's name in, and you can
like
see
to compare
that
me
comes up.
to Tate and Myron and everyone else. So
Harrison,
because my name is close to them in the manosphere. But if I compare you to Epstein and Maxwell, you have a clear problem with it.
No problem.
Sir, you compare me to Myron and all the others in this homophobic, misogynistic, whatever world. I'm comparing you to Epstein then because you're in his files.
Harrison.
Exactly.
You're making yourself look an even bigger idiot than you did on the Netflix show.
Oh, really? Really?
Yes.
To people like you, sir, I don't mind that. You make yourself look like an idiot every single day when your wife is at home posting pictures that you're out and she wants to get used like a toy by a big black man who is cleaning her car. Is that why you have a problem with me? Is that why you're pushing this homophobic narrative? Because I'm the big black man that shagged your wife while you are on holiday. Okay? We can all have a push and a shove, sir. Let's go back to talking about the documentary and less of the homophobia.
Do you know what? Here's what I think about you. I watched the documentary. I think you're a fucking idiot. I think you're a sexist, misogynist, homophobic twerp who got exposed in a global way by Netflix, by Louis Theroux, for what you are. You're a little half-wit, and you'll make your little followers
don't get rattled.
Have a little laugh
and
everything else. But I don't see any point wasting. There's no point me wasting my time talking to you. Is there? What's the point?
Exactly. No. Do you know what? Let's chill it down then, because what I just said, there's 50 more things that we can have a stupid back and forth and try and one up each other.
I don't
just
care
talk
about
to
your
me
silly
normally.
Insults.
Talk to me normally.
Talk to me normally. I don't care about your silly insults.
But what do you mean you don't care? What do you mean you don't care? What I said is facts. I have a picture of it. I can flip it around and show you right now.
I couldn't care less about your silly little insults. It's like a 2-year-old. Why would I care?
A 2-year-old? A 2-year-old? Listen, sir, I don't know why you come on and you talk like you're holier than thou. As soon as you're away,
all right, let's end this.
Applications are open.
All right, let's just
That's your ting, bro. That's your girl.
Let's end this, please.
Cooked.
You know what? I'm not doing this. Sorry, guys. It's pointless.